An opening statement.
Yeah, gotta get used to this. The center.
I watch a lot of post game press conferences with coaches. It's a weird thing that I like to do, but I don't have an opening statement for this one. I didn't prepare one.
We'll throw it open for questions. All right, let's start out with John Hale, and then we'll go to Josh.
Drake, there was a lot of talk, just speculation, I guess, that seniors, draft prospects, guys would not want to play bowls this year because of everything going on. That has not been the case for you guys. Why do you think that is, and what's kind of the mood going into this game with you guys from one last game?
Yeah, that for the last couple years that hasn't been an issue. You look back at the Citrus Bowl, and that was kind of when that movement was starting. And you looked at guys like Josh Allen and Benny Snell and quite a few others on that team. Nobody opted out. And I think that set the tone, at least for a lot of the older guys that are here right now, that our standard is we want to play in that bowl game. And we want to treat every game like it's a big deal because it is. And, of course, guys are trying to do what's best for them. But I think that there's so much pride that a lot of us have to try to play one more game for Kentucky, get that win. I mean, I know personally, after that South Carolina win, we were all excited. We were happy. I was happy, but I just didn't want that to be the last game. And bowl games are fun. It's a little vacation. There's no doubt about that. But we're on a business trip, and getting a bowl win is such a great feeling that I think everybody wants to get that one more time.
Josh.
Hey Drake, when you go on the little break y'all had after the Carolina game, and then here for Christmas there for a few days, was it tough? I assume it's nice to get that recharge, but is it tough to, because I imagine kind of what John was asking about there, maybe guys kind of want to stay home. Was that a hard thing? I know you're both. But...
Well, the only thing tough about it is I have a December birthday, so I don't get a lot of presents. When you think about it, it's kind of, yeah, it's I feel cheated because I don't get as many presents between my birthday and Christmas. They kind of try to combine them, so I feel cheated every year around the bowl game. But no, it's not tough. You think about the weird year it's been. A lot of guys haven't been able to see their families, and my little brother was back home for Christmas break. He's been off in Texas going to school, so I haven't seen him in 6 months. So absolutely, it was great going home and seeing family. And I think Coach Stoops said we were pretty much near 100% on our COVID test, and that's such a blessing that everybody was able to go home and come back healthy. And I believe we've got one more round, so we'll see. But I think everybody was excited to go home and get recharged. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that.
Bonnie. Bonnie, you're muted.
Yeah, he's muted. I can't hear you.
We'll come back to you in a second. You're still muted. Nick.
What makes this defense so weird and such a challenge to go up against, especially for you in particular?
Yeah, so the 3-3-5 defense is unorthodox, I'd say. It's just the personnel is different, so they do different things out of it. And you saw a sneak peek of that with Mississippi State. Now, they're not Mississippi State. Mississippi State slanted, stunted, blitzed, I would say almost 100% of the time. And this is a little different than that. Their second level, their linebackers, they fit holes hard. They fit them fast. They're very locked in on their keys. Their defensive line is stout. But we saw it last year with UT Martin. We saw it this year with Mississippi State. We'll see it again this week with NC State. We have guys that have seen it. We're experienced. We have our rules that we're disciplined with. And no matter who's coaching us, we have a system built in to give us answers to whatever defense is bringing at us. So, yeah, it presents a challenge. They have good players, but I think we do too. So I'm looking forward to this game. It's an interesting matchup. I think it'll be fun to watch.
Is this a game, too, where you see the guy across from you and he's making All-American teams? What can it mean for you in your future?
Yeah, it excites me. I love playing against good football players. I loved playing against Jeffrey Simmons twice. I love playing against Kinlaw, guys at Bama, Florida, Georgia. Really, every team we play in our conference has great players, and I'm excited to play. I don't know. Obviously, we're planning on him playing in the game. ultimately, the way I approach each game is the same. I try to dictate to the defensive line what I'm doing. I try to make my block. I don't want to react to what he's doing. In a way, I want him to react to me. So I try. Of course, I game plan. I watch their tendencies, but I think we really try to treat everybody like it's the same. And we just played 10 SEC games. You're not going to see defensive lines much better than that.
Josh?
Drake, what's preparation been like? You know, it seems like it's pretty close to a normal game week as far as the schedule, but with Coach Marrow kind of running the ship there offensively, what's anything that's real different about it, or is it pretty much, kind of the same as the season's been?
I'm having fun with it. I think, me personally, I like being a little more involved in the game plan. I get to kind of see how that works, and of course, I have for Coach Schlarman, and I would talk about it each week, but it's a little different right now, and I like being in there when we do talk about some things. And Coach Marrow, he's been in this offense for 5 years. A lot of our assistant staff members have been in this offense for a long time. So I have a lot of confidence in everybody to put together a good plan. I'm sure it's not my duty to go into detail about that, but I'm confident in it. It is like a normal game week, and we're just excited to go out there and play. It doesn't matter who's calling plays.
All right, we got time for a couple more, and then Coach Marrow is also here. So we'll go with guys who hadn't had one yet. Jeff?
Hey Drake, what is the kind of extra time off since that kind of grueling stretch of SEC games done for you and kind of on behalf of your teammates, both mentally and physically?
Yeah, you heal up big time. I know a lot of us, really, especially on the offensive line, you feel it throughout the whole season. And I've been very fortunate, knock on wood, to really never miss any time my whole career with an injury. And it was a hard season, but it was fun. Like I said, each week you're going against the best. And we took a couple weeks off the game field to recover. And our training staff, Gabe and all them, they do a tremendous job with us. And I know I feel great. My body feels pretty much like I'm ready to start another season. And yeah, so big props to those guys. And I think a lot of other guys would say the same thing.
Dick?
Drake, you talked to us on the radio after the game about what it meant to play your last home game at Kroger Field. You're one of the first and only Kentucky players to be a part of a bowl team every year you've been in school. What are your thoughts on that? What does that mean to you?
I remember, and I've said this multiple times, I remember our first meeting in January of 2019. It was right out of the Citrus Bowl. Coach Stoops talked about he didn't want to just have a good team. So he didn't want that 18 team to just be 10-3, great team. We look back and say, oh, that was the best Kentucky team we've ever had. He was trying to build a program, and that's really what he's done such a tremendous job with, is building a good program. We're trying to make it a great program. Of course, that's a difficult thing to do, and it takes time and it takes commitment. But we're building a good program, and good programs go to bowl games year in and year out. And that stuck with me ever since he said that. It just resonated with me that, okay, we're doing all this stuff to become a good program where we are expected to go to bowl games each year. We're expected to win our non-conference games. We're expected to go over 500 in the SEC. We're expected to have winning seasons and be successful. So I think he's done a tremendous job with that. I love the culture that we have in our building. It's totally different than when I got here almost 5 years ago. Almost exactly 5 years ago. It's tremendously different.
All right, guys, we'll get Coach Marrow here in just a second.